We're going to get into this incredible, joyous defeat of the U.S. Women's World Cup Wokester team and a whole bunch more. But this is big show today. Here we go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. It's Monday already, August 7th, 2023. And man, do we have a lot to cover on the program today. Oh, man. First, we're going to celebrate the defeat of the U.S. Women's World Cup team, which, on the face of it, I mean, it seems a little strange that we're celebrating a defeat of America. But you know, you look at this Megan Rapinoe, who's just a terrible human being, just a terrible person. She makes her entire career out of bashing this country, out of bashing our way of life, and she's just an unlikable person. And, you know, she lost in a very humiliating way because she had that one free shot, and she missed it, and she just thought that was hilarious. Oh, yeah. She just thought it was hilarious to miss the goal. You know, this business of not standing for the national anthem. Now, I do believe we had 3 girls on the team who honored our national anthem, but the rest. And, you know, Megan Rapinoe, she is what I call a poison person. Do you guys have any poison people in your life? You know, I made a rule for myself years ago to keep poison people out of my life, out of my circle. And there is nothing worse than a poison person who's always riling people up. You ever work with someone like that? It's the worst. But poison people are always turning the group against whoever. And in Megan Rapinoe's case, she's a very selfish person. And she got on board during this Kaepernick nonsense, and she realized, hey, if I hate on America and hate everything about the country, maybe I can get some endorsements. And she has, like Subway. Subway must have been pretty desperate after Jared's problem. But yeah, so that was her path, like Kaepernick, to fame, fortune, and endorsements, was hating on America. And they went too far at the Women's World Cup this time by disrespecting the national anthem. They really did. They've lost, and America is celebrating. So Megan Rapinoe comes out, and her first words after losing are just bizarre. I mean, this girl's got a lot of nerve. Listen.
Is there a memory that stands out to you right now in this moment?
I mean, probably equal pay chance.
Equal pay chance. So she just lost, just had a major loss, and she's asking for a raise? When you have a job and you fail, what kind of nerve does it take to ask for a raise after you've had a loss? That's very bizarre to me. And, you know, well, it takes a lot of nerve. You know what it really shows you? How stupid of a person she is. They asked her a question, and she's got no thoughts of her own, so she goes back to this rhetoric. You might remember I was talking about Vin Diesel a while back, and when Paul Walker died, I saw Vin Diesel was out on the street, and they were asking him about, there was like a group of fans that were asking about Paul Walker right after Paul Walker died, and Vin Diesel starts talking to the crowd like over a PA system. And what he was saying were lines that I remember him saying in Fast and Furious. He didn't even have his own thoughts. He just had the script. And that's what she's gone to. Let's get back to it. Megan Rapinoe.
Is there a memory that stands out to you right now in this moment?
I mean, probably equal pay chance after the final. And I think, you know, they were saying equal pay, but could have been saying a lot of things. I think this team has always fought for so much more, and that's been the most rewarding part for me. Of course, playing in World Cups and winning championships and doing all that, but you know, to know that we've used our really special talent to do something, that's really like changed the world forever. I think that means the most to me. And, the players in this locker room here, they're just getting started. And, to all the players that I played with, obviously, who know what it's like to be in the grind. That's the best part.
Okay. So, yeah, I know, huh? So Megan Rapinoe, so right after her loss, the first thing she does is ask for a raise. And she's so full of herself. Do you hear what she said? She's part of changing the world forever. Well, I'm going to agree with her about that. For the first time, what Megan Rapinoe has done is something I've not seen done before, not in America, but what Megan Rapinoe has done has gotten the majority of America to celebrate a defeat of a U.S. national team. So that's a major change that she is responsible for. And, this team of girls, they're not all that great. If you remember, they lost to middle school boys. This is an article, this is back in 2017 from CBS. In preparation, this is CBS Sports back in 2017, Megan Rapinoe's team then. In preparation for two upcoming games against Russia, the U.S. women's national team played the FC Dallas 15-year-old boys academy team and lost 5-2. So they played 15-year-old boys and they lost 5-2. So I mean, if girls are as good as boys in everything, why are the adult women losing to 15-year-old boys? I don't follow soccer. Steve does. Maybe we'll talk about this. But we had this team like 25 years ago, 20 years ago. Remember that? When we first won the Women's World Cup and it was a big deal. Do you think those girls would have lost to 15-year-old boys? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I know this is a team of losers. And what Megan Rapinoe's issue is what the issue is with a lot of athletes. Mediocre people all of a sudden become victims. Ellen DeGeneres is a great example. Ellen DeGeneres, when she came out of the closet, do you know why she came out of the closet? Why did Ellen DeGeneres come out of the closet? You know why? Because her show, her sitcom was failing and ABC was going to cancel it. So she came out of the closet, Ellen, so that it was really a way to save the sitcom. It saved it for like another year, but she was daring ABC to cancel it. If you cancel it, I'm going to tell people you're canceling it because I'm out of the closet gay. That's why she did it. Kaepernick, mediocre quarterback, not really at the NFL pro level. So he starts this take a knee stuff because he's mediocre. There have been others. So a lot of mediocre athletes and others, they get all woke not because they believe in this. It's because they're not that good at what they do, and they learn to make a career out of being a victim. This is not new. People have been doing this for a long time, mostly liberals, making a living out of being a victim, right? Kaepernick, Megan Rapinoe, Ellen DeGeneres, and others. All right, there's more to share. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll take our first break of the week and come back with more after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call The Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, it's Katie with Will For You.
Oh.
I'm sure you've already heard the news.
It's insanity that's going on here, guys. Complete insanity.
Alternate A1A in Vietnam Road next to Publix. We've been serving Jupiter for over 40 years. We strive to make fine new flooring for your home friendly, fresh, and convenient. We offer lots of options from America's top brands and always the best prices. Mention this ad and receive a free gift. From one local to another, Will For You is your hometown flooring store that has it all. Will For You in Jupiter store and willfor.com.
Oh, yeah, I got a lot more to cover other than Megan Rapinoe, but I'm not done with her yet. It is insanity. Yeah, look what she's done. Yeah. She's got America celebrating the loss of a U.S. national team, right? I mean, yeah. Exactly.
Am I having an essential crisis or vanilla effect? But isn't there usually a play button and a pause button right here?
Yep, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm like looking for it.
Do you have it in there?
No.
Then how are you hitting the spots?
I hit the I was hoping the bottom would work. It worked, but I was like, wait, where's my play button?
Yeah. Oh, so you're using the little one inside?
Yeah, I mean, I had to hope it worked, but I was like, uh-oh, like.
Yeah. Somebody put in another view. That's a hard thing to fix because it's on the air 24 hours a day. You can't just reboot, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, what if you expand the screen or it is so then? I noticed that when I came in. I know, yeah. Because it's huge. You can't miss it. Yeah.
I feel like I see it all the time, so it goes out my mind that it's missing because I'm
Yep.
just used to it being there. So when
Yep.
you see it, I'm like, wait.
Yep. You should talk about this on your podcast this week, the soccer. Yeah. So when you do that, when you have that episode up, text me the link. I'll promote the link. Mike on his sports podcast is going to talk about Megan Rapinoe. Yeah.
Of the current heat wave. Malt's Jupiter Theater marks its 20th anniversary season. The Dish checks out Tommy Bahama's new Marlin Bar at the Gardens Mall. Read these and other stories in Florida Weekly. Available throughout Palm Beach County. Available online at floridaweekly.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. We'll get to your phone calls in just a moment. We're talking about Megan Rapinoe, and we're celebrating the loss of the U.S. women's team in the Women's World Cup. Now, listen, if you're a homeowner, a business owner, or you're with a homeowners association and you have a roof that's old, compromised, leaking, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. It is hurricane season, people. Oh, man. And we've been getting lots of rains and a lot of wind. Luckily, no hurricanes yet, but you never know. And if you've got a leak in your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta. Not only will he not sell you a roof you do not need, he covers the entire state of Florida. So no matter where you are, he can help you. Now listen, there's new insurance laws in Florida which are really, really good for property owners. They're actually pretty amazing. In the past, roofers like Tom Laporta couldn't deal directly with your insurance company. You had to deal with them. And if your insurance company said, well, you know, we're not going to pay for it, you'd have to hire a public adjuster. And I've been through that, and I had a public adjuster after a hurricane years ago, and they got me the settlement from my insurance company a year after the storm. Yeah. And then I had to pay them 20%. So when I got the new roof, not only did the price of the roof went up because it had been a year, but I didn't have enough money. I had to come up with the other 20% for the roof because I had to give 20% to the public adjuster. Well, the new insurance laws allow Tom Laporta to deal directly with your insurance company for the cost of the repair. So you may not need a public adjuster. Some people hire attorneys to handle this. That's crazy. So call Tom Laporta. Be prepared if a hurricane hits. You can find him online at laportacontracting.com or call him directly, and this number rings to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. So the president, Donald Trump, has spoken out on the loss of the U.S. women's team on Truth Social. This shocking and totally unexpected loss by the U.S. women's soccer team to Sweden is fully emblematic of what is happening to our once great nation under crooked Joe Biden. Many of our players were openly hostile to America. No other country behaved in such a manner or even close. Woke equals failure, President Trump post. Nice shot, Megan. The USA is going to hell. MAGA. Yeah. And she thought it was so funny when she missed the shot. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie. Hey, Richie.
I'm a big sports guy, so I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to offend some women out there, but not women that really think logically. Okay, women have to learn, and I'm 74-year-old male. Women have to learn their place. They have to be put in their place. Because here's the deal. I believe that when it comes to cerebral brains, that anything a woman could do, anything a man could do, a woman could do probably better.
Mentally.
Mentally.
When it comes to mentally, right? We have equal intelligence.
Mentally. Equal, and some women are smarter than men. A lot of women are smarter than men. Okay. The fact of the matter is that in sports, I remember you remember Billie Jean King at her time, she was a tennis player. She played a senior citizen, Bobby Riggs, who was an old man. He was a senior citizen. It was an exhibition match because they knew Bobby Riggs was an old man. I think Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs. That was the beginning of it. These female soccer players, just like the female basketball players, you know what? They
Wait a minute. Who won, Billie Jean King or Bobby Riggs? I thought Bobby Riggs won.
Megan is all
Who won,
upset?
Riggs or King?
She wants the same pay as a man, and she's upset that she couldn't grow a beard and take hormone shots and become physically like a man. See, a woman can change from a woman to a man, but not physically. Not like she.
Well, maybe we can get like some transgendered women on the women's World Cup team, and next time they can perform better.
Well, the transgender women still wouldn't perform any better than the women. They might have physically look like a man, okay, but they're not as good as a man when it comes to sports. But the men can switch to a woman and.
Well, and remember this team led by Megan Rapinoe lost to 15-year-old boys. So what the heck?
And Brian, you can go from a man to a woman and dominate female sports because you're still a man deep down. You're physically still a man. You can't change that. And the fact of the matter is, they dropped the standards all over this country years ago with the firefighters and everything. I think you had a show one day with a midget, I hate to say this, a midget wanted to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Said, hey, how could this happen? I don't want no midget trying to carry a 350-pound man down a flight of stairs. No, the fact of the matter is they changed standards and everything, including the military, including everything else. They dropped the man's.
But you know, I'll tell you, you look at what's going on with Budweiser, with this, there's other examples in between, and wokeness is on the verge of collapse because everything that's woke, like President Trump has talked about, has turned to you know what, and everything woke is becoming a failure in this country.
Well, they also, yeah, but there's the woke started with the regular 9-to-5 jobs. Let me tell you something. If you're a 6'5" male, okay, on some kind of substance, and the police are called, and I'm a police officer, a male police officer, and my backup is a 5'2" woman with a gun on her hip, and this guy is as strong as hell going nuts. I don't want the woman with the gun on her hip, man. I want a guy.
Who would you rather have as backup on a situation like that? This female police officer you described, or a police dog?
I'd rather have the dog.
Yeah. You're more likely to get through it.
So any women that really think logically, and it's not a knock against women. I don't want a woman in a physical man's job. I tell you the truth. And I don't want the standards for men to drop because men have become feminine because they can't do the things they used to do and they couldn't pass the test. When I was a little boy in New York City, you had to be, and I hate to say this, Brian, because you're not a tall guy, but I believe you had to be 5'7" to become a New York City police officer.
Yeah.
They changed that. They changed the military. They changed everything to give the women the equal pay and equal rights.
No, that's right. No, listen. There's all kinds of restrictions on what people do now. When Megan Rapinoe returns to America, I'm sure the ladies on The View will have her there, but other than that, I think she's pretty much done.
She's an ugly lesbian who's bitter because she wasn't born a man. And I'm sorry to say it, Megan, you weren't born a man.
Well, maybe she can start endorsing Bud Light and try to bring that back. All right, Richie, take care. So President Trump he's very into the soccer. This is President Trump on our U.S. Ladies World Cup team.
I got in a little trouble. I said that our women's soccer team was supposed to easily win, but they went woke. Except for a few of them. I love those women that stood up and they saluted our flag. There was some of them. But the one with the purple hair, she didn't play too well. She went woke. You can have her. And they didn't do too well, unfortunately. We want them to do well, but they didn't. But it's true about woke. You just take a look. Everything goes bad. It's a shortcut to losing everything you have.
It's true. Woke is a shortcut to losing everything you have. Now, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour, come back with more of your calls. We are celebrating the loss of the U.S. Women's World Cup team. And I think woke is pretty much done in this country. This, Bud Light, and whatever else has been brought down lately by woke. And it seems like every day there's a new story of woke bringing down something. The American people are rejecting it. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Remember, if you ever miss a program, go to our radio station website, TrueOldiesFLA.com. And at TrueOldiesFLA.com, every day, about an hour after we get off the air, Mike, our board op, uploads the entire show as a podcast, and they're archived there forever. TrueOldiesFLA.com. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Now, how many of you are celebrating the U.S. loss? Are you celebrating that? What do you guys think? How can you not? I mean, she's a terrible person. Just a terrible person. Yeah, it couldn't happen to a more miserable girl. That's right. Yeah. It's kind of sad, but that's the way it is. Now, I just ordered a new pet bed for our new cat, Luna, our stray that we took in from MyPillow. And at MyPillow, hey, Wookiees, good to see you. At MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you can take advantage of all the specials there. But the MyPillow pet beds, just $29.99. They come in a whole bunch of different colors. And yeah, I mean, we have, this will be the third one we have. They are incredible. They have that same patented fill inside of them that's in the pillows. And you can just throw the whole thing in the washer and dryer. We do all the time. But we're getting one that is just for our cat, because the other ones have the, not just the dog smell in it, but our old cat. You know, so we're getting her own, so she can get her own scent in it. And they're so inexpensive. It's worth it. Just $29.99 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. They make great gifts, too. And, of course, when you go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, you're supporting all of my content here. You're supporting the show, and that's a great thing. So it's greatly appreciated. Oh, man. Megan Rapinoe. I'm going to play it again when we get back. I played it at the top. I'll play it again when we get back. Mm-hmm. I'm a little behind on my coffee, but I'm catching up. We got a lot of stuff going on the Washington side of things as well, and the president and DeSantis and Ramaswamy and more. Describe Megan Rapinoe in one word. How would you describe her, the way she handled the loss? I mean, she's not a professional sports person in her attitude. I'll tell you that. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Arrogant. Wow. Entitled. Yep. Yep. Spoiled. And she can't change her hair. That's like her green hair, purple hair. Her colored hair has become like so much of her personality. If she went to a regular hair color, people wouldn't recognize her. That will be coming back shortly. Uninspiring, yeah. Pathetic, how about that one? For her to ask for a raise after they lost is insane to me. 1 minute, we'll be back. Self-centered, yes. Rough weekend? Why do you say that? No, weekend was fine. Had a good weekend. Any guys see my podcast and live streams over the weekend? I was busy. Didn't get much sleep over the weekend. I'll get to Mitch McConnell. Don't worry. I'm here till 9. Don't worry.
Celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. We are celebrating the loss of the U.S. Women's World Cup team. And if you're just joining in, this is Megan Rapinoe right after her humiliation of a defeat. She thought it was funny for a minute, then she realized she was being seen, so then she got all broken up. So the first words spoken by Megan Rapinoe to the world after the humiliating defeat at the Women's World Cup is this.
Is there a memory that stands out to you right now in this moment? Oh, I mean, probably equal pay chance after the final.
After the loss.
You know, they were saying equal pay, but could have been saying a lot of things. I think this team has always fought for so much more, and that's been the most rewarding part for me. Of course, playing in World Cups and winning championships and doing all that, but you know, to know that we've used our really special talent to do something, you know, that's really like changed the world forever. I think that means the most to me. And
oh, wow, she's changed the world forever, yeah. So how arrogant can you be? So she just lost, and she asked for a raise. For the entire team, by the way. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Oh, hey, Andrea.
What really special talent? Kicking a ball? That's a really special talent.
Well, I don't know. I can't play soccer. I can't dribble the soccer ball properly down the field. But, playing a kid's game, losing to 15-year-old boys, yeah, and then she wants a raise. Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I agree with Richie. American women need to be put in check all the way around. All the way around. Because the feminist movement used American women to bring the society to where it is right now, which is why you don't see any feminists speaking out now that women's rights are actually being destroyed. American women got played like a bunch of morons that they are. They got played to go into the workforce and give the government more taxes and let their children be indoctrinated in public schools. American women were the means to the end. They got played. That's why no feminists are coming.
Well, feminist in 2023 are the worst. I saw this video a week or two ago on YouTube. It was, I can't remember if it was Navy or Air Force, but it was a squadron of pilots that were going to do, and it was all women. And they just thought it was a big deal. They showed them planning the flight, getting together. They just thought we know women can fly planes, okay? It's no big deal in 2023 to have women flying planes. But I'll tell you, they shouldn't be flying combat aircraft because American women who have gotten shot down in the War on Terror and in Gulf War I were raped without mercy, including that private that we rescued, Lynch. She was raped without mercy, even though she was all wounded and everything. So women shouldn't be in combat. But feminist, the Harvey Weinstein gave us this new wave of feminism where it's just whining, right? I mean, that's basically what it is.
The statistics that I would like to see, which you never will because it will destroy the narrative, is how many men have lost their lives because they've had women partners, be it police or military. Women do not belong in the police force, and women do not belong in the military.
Well, I wouldn't say that women don't belong in the military or the police. I mean, we need people to work in the office. We need people to, be the meter maids. But being out on patrol is insane to me, where they're dealing with people. Same goes for the military. I mean, we need people in the military that, women can do great work in the military. There's a lot of office work in non-combat areas, preparing the food, things like that. But in combat, that's crazy.
I could not agree with you more.
In the first Gulf War, which didn't last very long, the actual combat, there were a handful of Americans who were captured, including a female helicopter pilot. And she was in the class of the first women to graduate West Point. And what did the Iraqis do? They raped her. And she never talked about it and let it be known because she thought it would hurt the role of women in the military if she let it be known that she was raped when she was captured. I mean, this is crazy. I know terrible things happen to men, but rapes are uncommon when men are captured.
That's why what Richie said is right. Know your place. And your place is not in the police force and it's not in active military. It's not. But, American women got played and they've become some of the most toxic, vile people walking the face of the earth.
Well, look at the fire department. This really kind of started with the fire department, if you think about it. It's okay for a lady to be a paramedic, but if you're going in the buildings to carry people out, do you have the strength to do it? I don't think so.
Brian, I'm going to tell you the truth, right? I'm a fitness person. I tried to slip a tractor tire up into my van, and I herniated 5 discs in my back. If you think a woman is going to be able to carry a man down a ladder, the delusion that you're living under is insane. And I'm in really good shape, and I'm very strong for a woman. But you know what I'll never be strong enough as? A man. It's just not.
Well, you see it. You see it all the time when you see women that get snatched off the street by creeps. They're fat, out of shape guys. They can't even see their penis when they urinate because the belly's so big, and they snatch women off the street that are in peak physical condition, and they just can't overpower men. It's just a reality of things. It's not sexist. You know, there are things that I can't do because of my age, you know, and things like this. You know that things people are different.
Exactly, but I agree with Richie. American women need to be put in check, and it's time for American.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So yeah. So President Trump, he knows he's got it all down. Let me play this other clip of President Trump talking about this very thing. He knows what's going on.
Ruins your mind and wokeism makes you lose. Ruins your mind and ruins you as a person. You become warped, you become demented. The U.S. women's soccer team is a very good example of what's going on. Earlier this week, they unexpectedly lost to Sweden 3-0. And Americans were happy about it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, you're talking about this stuff. I mean, look, only talentless or lack of talent people do this type of stuff to get attention on themselves. Colin Kaepernick was not a very good quarterback. He couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't complete passes. And this person, I don't know about the rest of the team. Obviously, they're talented to get them where they are. But just because she misses she causes them to lose, and she misses those other women trained hard to get to where they were. Right.
Yeah, when do you, I don't follow soccer, so I know nothing about it, okay? I know about wokeness and the poison that it is to our society. How unusual is it for someone to miss that free shot goal like she did? Is that common? I mean, it seemed like I could make that shot.
I cannot remember somebody missing, men or women, that type of shot.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Chastain years ago made her shot.
Yeah, that's right.
But
now Brandy Chastain was with that women's World Cup team that everyone was talking about. I wonder if Brandy Chastain's women's World Cup team would have lost to 15-year-old boys. I doubt that. They seem pretty good.
I doubt that too, and that's the thing. These people that do this type of stuff just because they want their attention, just because they think they can make a quick buck off of it. That's why I think she did this thing, because she thinks she can make a quick buck off of it. The whole kneeling with the national anthem. That's how Colin Kaepernick got.
That's right. And then after Kaepernick got Nike is when Megan Rapinoe started her BS. Hey, Mike, thanks for the call. We're coming up on our last break of the hour. Your thoughts on Megan Rapinoe and the Women's World Cup team are certainly still welcome. I'm going to move on to some other topics after the break, but that's still fair game. If you'd like to celebrate the defeat of the U.S. Women's World Cup team, please give me a call, and we'll celebrate their loss together at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We are so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All all your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Pregnancy can be an exciting time. For many moms, it can mean feeling anxious, depressed, confused, or overwhelmed. Either during pregnancy or after having your baby, you may not quite feel like yourself. If you're experiencing
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
mental health issues can be treated.
I've got a new Trump ad I'm going to get to in just a bit, too.
In your area by visiting flbhimpact.org. This message is supported by the Health Resources and Services Administration, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Do I have a shirt with flamingos? I might.
I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I do any lab test now with Boca.
I know I have a shirt with flamingos, but it's not like this big of flamingos. I know I've got a shirt with flamingos, but they're not like huge flamingos.
They're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now with Boca and Any Lab Test Now with Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now with Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now with Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now with Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It's Monday, 47 minutes after the hour. I ordered a new MyPillow pet bed because I wanted our new cat. We have a new cat, a stray that we took in. I wanted her to have her own bed, and we ordered. The MyPillow pet beds. They come in many different colors and sizes. They're just $29.99 with our promo code Kane at checkout. $29.99. It's a great deal, and they have inside of them the same patented fill that's in the MyPillow. These are great, and you can wash them inside and out and dry them, and they're like new every single time. And also, I did not order these yet, but I'm going to do this today. The MyPillow beach towels are 40% off, and of course, these deals are with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And even though I live in Florida, I don't go to the beach too much. But I like having big old beach towels to dry off with when I get out of the shower, too. You guys like you guys like that? But the MyPillow beach towels, 40% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And remember, you can use our promo code Kane for all of the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. And you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Arizona. Terry, how you doing?
All right, Terry. What's up?
Well, I was listening to the news yesterday, your podcast. Let me tell you a little off topic here, but the VET, PPP for valuetainment talk. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but, he wants to not reform, he wants to take apart everything except the CIA. And Patrick didn't even push back on that, which I was shocked. Now, why would you not want to reform, unless you want to stay alive, maybe that's why. But why would you not want to reform the agency that started all these wars all over the world, created all this nonsense, protected Hunter, protected Joe, probably protecting Obama and everyone else? Why would the vet suddenly not want to do anything with that that particular.
Well, okay, I didn't catch that part, but I believe you. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy is a bad dude, and he did a town hall meeting, I guess it was Friday, with Patrick Bet-David. I like Patrick Bet-David, and I met his people at Turning Point. The people that work because they were there, and and he did this town hall with Ramaswamy, which Ramaswamy is really weird. I mean, he looks strange when he's talking. It's just, but anyway. I started looking into Ramaswamy over the weekend and found some things out about him, including his George Soros connection, that are very alarming, and he should not be allowed a seat at Trump's table. He should not be inside our MAGA world. And so far as being against every agency of government except the CIA, who would say that other than someone who's CIA?
I was blown away because Patrick Bet-David said they're looking at him, how he wants to revolutionize everything. When he brought up the CIA, Ramaswamy went silent on it. He goes, well, he was stumbling. And that's what I thought, because I love Patrick Bet. He's a great interviewer. And I'm like, man, he's got to step in. And even he kind of backed off, which was like...
Well, sometimes, I didn't see that part, but sometimes when you are interviewing someone, you're in a situation like that, you might miss something they say because you're getting ready for the next point. Maybe he missed that. Because that's not the kind of thing that he would normally let slip by.
Yeah, I know. It shocked me.
Yeah.
But I heard you talking about that yesterday, and that kind of woke me up to Ramaswamy, too. I started looking around going, hey, wait a minute. We've trusted way too many people. And then in the end, Janet Ellis and all these people, suddenly they become our worst enemy. And, I think this takes a real second look at this guy.
Absolutely.
The people... Too many MAGA people are loving this guy.
That's right. Hey, listen, I thank you for the call. I appreciate the call, all right? You give me an opportunity. I was going to bring this up a little later, but I'm going to do it now and maybe do it later during the show. Vivek Ramaswamy is not someone that should be supported by MAGA. I've been telling you guys for a while, he's getting elevated because he's a millennial, and there are a lot of millennials in media that are elevating him because they're millennials, he's a millennial, and they think it's cool. And I watched this town hall with him, with Patrick Bet-David from Valuetainment, and I started looking into him. And I just found out a couple things. I made an entire YouTube video on the dangers of Ramaswamy over the weekend, so you guys can watch all of that. It's very detailed, some of the things I found out about Ramaswamy. And if you follow me on YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, you can watch that. But I'm going to share one thing that's in that video right now. I have been getting messages from people for months that Ramaswamy is with George Soros, he's connected to Soros and all of this, and I haven't paid too much attention to it. And the reason I had not paid much attention to it is because he's like so low in the polls, who cares? He's not, I don't know why people are talking about him. But after this town hall with Patrick Bet-David over the weekend, I started looking into it, and I found an audio. This is really a public service, and I'm going to play this, I think, more than once today. This is Ramaswamy addressing his George Soros connection in a video that he made in a car and posted online. Listen to this. This is Vivek Ramaswamy addressing the accusations that he's connected to George Soros. Listen to this.
What is my connection with George Soros? Answer, none. Zero. Indirect, direct, zero connection with George Soros. Why are people asking this question?
Okay, so now he said that he has no connections to George Soros directly or indirectly. This is Vivek Ramaswamy. He just said he has no connections directly or indirectly to George Soros. Well, in the same piece of audio, he contradicts himself. Listen to this.
What is my connection with George Soros? Answer, none. Zero. Indirect, direct, zero connection with George Soros. Why are people asking this question? It's because back in 2010, by the way, long before George Soros had completely fallen off the deep end and gone into these progressive causes, funding these disastrous, toxic prosecutors who were soft on crime, who I've also railed against. Long before then, in 2010, I won a scholarship when I was 24, 25 years old headed to law school that was partly funded by not George Soros, but Paul Soros, who's a relative, a brother of George Soros, who made his money independently, who, by the way, is now dead, that funded hundreds of people. Hundreds of kids won that scholarship. I was one of them to go to graduate school at the age of 24, 25, back when I didn't have a lot of money to do it. And you know what? If I had turned down that scholarship back then, that would have been so foolish that anybody that foolish probably should have no place anywhere near the White House doing trade deals on behalf of this country.
Okay, wow. So George Soros's brother paid for his graduate school education. And so Ramaswamy begins that by saying he has no connections to George Soros, directly or indirectly. Well, if his brother paid for his graduate school, that's an indirect, and really more direct than indirect, connection to George Soros. Now, here's my opinion. Anyone who has a connection to George Soros is forever banned from holding any conservative, any Republican, or any MAGA office. That's my opinion. And that would include advising President Trump. That connection right there is enough. The way I would compare it, it's like porn. Once someone does porn, that's it. They're burned. Right? Same thing with Soros. You can't trust him. And I like how he says here, way back in 2010, because he's a young guy, to him, 2010 was a long time ago. To me, it seems like just a couple days ago. But he says long before Soros went off the deep end. No. Soros was always radical, going back to the Second World War, and he was always radical politically. In 2010 is when he started backing local states' attorneys and stuff. But he's always been a radical lunatic. So I'm going to throw this out to you guys to share your thoughts on this. The fact that George Soros's brother paid for his graduate school education, do you think that should discount him from being in the orbit of Donald Trump? See, what he's doing, he knows he's not going to be the president or the nominee. He's trying to elevate himself so he has a seat at the table of decision-making in the MAGA movement. This is a disqualifier, in my opinion. Sorry. That's it. You know? And I'm also a little suspicious of a guy who in 2010 couldn't afford college, but now at 37 or however old he is, he's a retired multi-billionaire. How does that happen? Maybe that Soros connection has something to do with it. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. In your opinion, George Soros's brother, who paid for his graduate school education, does that disqualify Ramaswamy from being in Trump's orbit and in our MAGA movement? I say yes. I want to know what you all think. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Mike from Coconut Creek. Man, you're spot on with this. You called this guy from the very beginning, and the funny thing is that you did this deep dive over the weekend, and you found out the Soros connection. Man, that I knew it when you were. I mean, I've been listening to you forever, but when you started saying "Don't trust this guy," I was like, okay, I know I'm not. And man, you called it right on the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he should be disqualified from the Republican debate, quite frankly, that's going on later this month. This is insane. Why would we have someone connected to the Soros family? And you know, he's a Soros fellow, and it's been reported in Forbes that he hired a Wikipedia editor to scrub his Soros connections from his Wikipedia bio.
Yes, I know. I listened to all that with you, man. I know you like debate and stuff, but I just had to call and tell you, man.
No, that's fine.
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
And you were spot on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You don't have to disagree to call us. I know Steve and I do savor disagreement, but I don't know how anyone could disagree with this. To me, this is a no-brainer. And that piece of audio, which is really a confession by Ramaswamy, I'm going to keep that for a long, long time. And I think it's a very important piece of audio. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with much more and your calls after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by the Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the...
I mean, that alone, totally, I mean, do you guys agree with me on this, yes or no? That alone disqualifies him, in your opinion, from being in Trump's circle. I say it does. I mean, there's no way. Yeah, there's just no way. Cannot be allowed after, no. Mm-mm. And you know this, if I were one of those wannabes at the Republican Fox News debate, said Trump's not going to be there, I'd go after Ramaswamy on this. And whoever does not address this or bring it up, the Republican debate cannot be trusted. They all know this. Absolutely.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. The poker room at PBKC features daily cash games, mega bad beat jackpots, big money tournaments, and high hands every 20 minutes from 9 a.m. to midnight. Tournament players earn points towards cash prizes and big buy-ins. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Bar Poker for just a $5 minimum, and that is 7 days a week. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. Firefighting tragedy in Southern California. Two firefighting helicopters collided midair while battling...
You got to be careful. We have too many traitors around Trump already. We don't need another. Right?
Stretch of the southbound I-81 in Dauphin County, Pennsylvania is closed after charter bus and a passenger vehicle collided. Pennsylvania state troopers reporting multiple fatalities and injuries. As many as 50 people were on the bus. The military junta that opposed the democratically elected...
How do you go from having no money in 2010, where you can't even afford college, and in 2023 you're a retired multi-billionaire? Exactly. Yeah, and since when do MAGA trust pharma candidates, right? Give me a break.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Indeed, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold, stand by. Just let me recap. We were talking first 3 quarters of the first hour, celebrating the loss of the U.S. Women's Cup team. But I uncovered some things about Ramaswamy over the weekend that I think need to be talked about and shared on the program, because this guy is converting a lot of MAGA people to support him. Even President Trump has said nice things about him. I found this audio This is Vivek Ramaswamy talking about his George Soros connections. I found this video over the weekend, and I just feel airing this is without question a public service. All right, here we go. This is Ramaswamy talking about his George Soros connection.
What is my connection with George Soros? Answer, none. Zero. Indirect, direct, zero connection with George Soros. Why are people asking this question? It's because back in 2010, by the way, long before George Soros had completely fallen off the deep end and gone into these progressive causes, funding these disastrous, toxic prosecutors who are soft on crime, who I've also railed against. Long before then, in 2010, I won a scholarship when I was 24, 25 years old, headed to law school, that was partly funded by, not George Soros, but Paul Soros, who's a relative, a brother of George Soros, who made...
Oh, okay, so it's George Soros' brother. Does that make it okay? I don't think so. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative.
Hey, Doug.
Thank you for bringing this out as this Ramaswamy character. Yeah, I was saying, he's not a bad guy. You're always thinking that he's a George Soros guy, and if he is, man, we got to stay away from him, that's for sure. The other thing I wanted to say is, I don't see any women playing on men's sports for some reason. Why is that? Because
I've heard there's been a couple times where I've heard of a kicker, a girl kicker, trying to make it on a boys' team or something, but not much ever comes of that.
Yeah, I was in the Golden Gloves tournament in New York City in Madison Square Garden, and there's more fights in the audience than there is in the boxing ring. Anyway, a fight breaks out, and about 15 cops come running in to try to break up. The women police that were there, they stayed in the back. They didn't want to get involved because they know they can't be fighting. It's so ridiculous. I think this is all due to the movies making women think, they can kick.
Well, you're blaming Angie Dickinson and Policewoman in the 70s?
Yeah, the 70s.
You got to go way back if you're blaming Angie Dickinson. Hey, Doug, appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Randy from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Randy. Hey, Randy, what's up?
I just want to make a comment on Vivek Ramaswamy. I think it's going to be another Mike Pence 2.0. He's trying to get his foot in the door. In my opinion, if you're running for the Republican nomination and the word MAGA never comes out of your mouth, you need to get off the stage.
Well, I don't know about that. Why has he not said? I don't know about that. Probably. But the problem is with Ramaswamy, see, every once in a while you'll hear a story about a school teacher who loses her job because 20 years ago she did a porno. And the kids find it. And that's a disqualifier. If you've done porn in the past, I don't care how long ago it was, you can't be a school teacher. It disrupts your job as a school teacher, and there's other problems too. Same goes with this. If you have any connection with George Soros like he does, you're out. You're out. You cannot have a seat at the table. This is a spy trying to make their way in to the Trump camp.
Exactly, and when he says direct and indirect, and then in the next sentence he actually has an indirect, which my opinion is a direct contact with George Soros, you're done. You reject.
And I like how he tells he contradicted himself in that statement, and then he acts like George Soros was okay before 2010. It was at 2010 he went off the deep end. He was always a radical leftist and never had anything good about him, including as a teenager in the Second World War, where he turned Jews over to the Nazis.
Exactly, and if Trump has any inclination of making him vice president, oh my God, we're going to be right back to where we were with Pence. I have a really short list on vice president, people who I think would be very good vice presidents. Kerry Lake, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Byron Donald, but Vivek Ramaswamy, and I don't want to sound racial here, but if you don't have an American last name, I don't trust you in the least bit.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I do know this, okay? That in my opinion, he's a spy. He's a Soros spy trying to infiltrate our great MAGA movement. And it's not just him. If he were, they must be very excited in this Soros circle, because a couple weeks ago, President Trump was it in Pennsylvania? At one of his speeches in the last couple weeks, President Trump said good things about Ramaswamy. This needs to be played to President Trump. President Trump, I'm sure, knows about this. I'm sure people have alerted him. He needs to know about this. And if Ramaswamy came in any, and I'm not talking about vice president, I'm talking about even in an advisory role to President Trump, he's going to have a staff. Are those Soros spies too? This is bad news. He should be completely cut off. Now, this Fox News presidential debate, which I hope President Trump does not participate in, these Republican wannabes, if I were one of them, I'd go after Ramaswamy very specifically on this Soros connection. Okay? And yeah. And if they don't, put them on the list. I already don't trust any of these people, but if they don't bring this up, they're not doing their job properly. We cannot have more. We've had so many traitors. Ron DeSantis, right? Jeff Sessions, Jenna Ellis. Who are some of the other people that were inside Trump's orbit that went on to betray him? There's others, right? And Ramaswamy, I've always been cautious about Ramaswamy because I don't know much about him. He came out of nowhere, and he says all the right things. I don't like that. Now, President Trump has a new ad. Have you heard the new ad yet? Oh, this is great. Let me play it for you. This is President Trump's new ad. Listen.
Hey, Joe, how come your Justice Department goes after Trump endlessly, yet they cover for your family? Hunter's laptop? Yeah, that was censored, but we know that laptop's real. And it's not just filled with photos of Hunter's drug-fueled debauchery either. Nah, it showed Hunter pocketed millions from foreign partners, cash from Ukrainian and Chinese interests accused of bribery and fraud. And remember when you claimed your family never made money from China? Well, Hunter admitted in court he took their cash. His Chinese business partner was tied to the Communist Party. How did Hunter's partners get meetings at the White House? Your brother, grandkids, even nieces and nephews got paid from foreign deals. Your family and their cronies raked in over $17 million from these schemes. And you, Joe, went from being one of the poorest in Congress to a millionaire in the White House. Come on, Joe. All this a coincidence or corruption? Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Yeah, I like that ad. That's a good one, and it's spot on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Larry. I'm from North Carolina.
Hey, Larry. What's up? You got to listen on your phone. Turn the volume down. Slow down. Turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to me on in the background, and just listen over the phone. Because of the delay, it'll be a mess. Like it already is a mess.
I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
First time I'm calling, Brian.
That's okay. Don't be nervous.
This Ramaswamy guy, fake. He's fake. They're all fake. Anybody who's connected to that Soros is fake.
Well, or he's a spy. A cunning spy.
Exactly. He's spying. He's going to do something really weird, all right? And it's going to upset the Republican Party and everything else. And it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know he's saying all the right things, and the story in the news is he's suing the Justice Department and all this stuff. Yeah.
It's ugly.
I remember when Jeff Sessions was the first sitting Republican senator to endorse President Trump and went on the campaign trail in the first campaign. Trump made him Attorney General, and he appointed Robert Mueller for the Russia investigation. So there you go. So we're not going to have that happen again.
Forget it. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I shouldn't say it, but if Cosa Nostra was still strong.
Okay, all right. No, you shouldn't even, I don't know what he was going to say next, but it can't be good. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Corey Hennessy, DC, Innate Healthcare. Dr. Hennessy, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms of neuropathy are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in the hands and feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable. We've seen some great results.
Call 954-633-7003 today to schedule your nerve damage screening. This screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that there's nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. Call 954-633-7003. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 954-633-7003.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our MyPillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first MyPillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your MyPillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's 17 minutes after the hour. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve joining us early today. Hey, Steve. Well, we've been talking about soccer a little bit today. We've been celebrating the loss of the U.S. Women's Cup team on the program. Yeah. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. But I want to take a moment to talk about any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Now, I go there, as does my entire family, for all of our lab tests. And I don't have health insurance. And people wonder all the time, how do I do it? It's because the prices are so low at any lab test now of Boca and Coral Springs. It's like cheaper than having health insurance, Steve. And they have all the thousands of tests that your doctor will order. I have a doctor. I pay out of pocket, and they tell me what tests they need. I go over to any lab test now of Boca and get the test. And they send them to my doctor the next day and me as well. But my wife and daughter have insurance. And the reason they use them is because you're in and out in 15 minutes or less, right? You know, you go to your doctor's office for lab work, it's like an all-day affair. You got to go there. You got to wait in the lobby. Then they take you into the exam room. Then you got to wait in there. And then the doctor who's got one leg out of the door with one leg in is there for a few seconds. And then you got to wait longer for their phlebotomist or nurse. It takes hours. But at any lab test now of Boca or Coral Springs, you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. Now listen, there's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs, which means don't use the rest, just use those two. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road. north of Hillsborough on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is over by the Coral Square Mall, okay, on the corner of University and Ramblewood. And they're open Monday through Saturday. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. And that goes for Saturdays as well. But also, doctor's orders and prescriptions are not needed. All right? So make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio. All right, Steve, what did you have something you wanted to go into, or do you want to just me continue? Oh, no. I'm not watching Fox News, Steve. I told you. I'm not watching Fox News. I'm sorry. Not watching Fox News. Well, you know, if you saw it, you can talk about it.
Actually, you know something? I don't think you had to watch this to be able to contribute to the show. You know why? You have your master's in history. Is that not correct?
No, I don't have a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree. Yes.
The same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
What did you major in?
Well, I got a couple: education, history. Yeah. Well, tell me about it. So, what did Mark Levin get into?
Mark Levin did a show last night. It was one of the greatest, yet one of the scariest shows I've ever heard on the radio. I'm going to try to ask you to get a copy of the tape for me. It talked about the historical record of what some of the outrageous situations were during various presidential elections. And you want to know something? As I sit here and bemoan the state of the country and the direction of the country, our situation here, bad as it is, with immigrants flowing in the streets on every street corner and everything else that's around, and our credit rating disappearing faster than we can say Jack Robinson. This looks like a Sunday school picnic next to.
I don't know about that, Steve. I don't know of any other instances where the president has arrested his leading opponent before.
Potatoes.
Getting arrested twice in the federal court? That's not small potatoes.
Relative, everything's relative. Relative.
Well, what examples did Levin give?
Well, the one I remember was, see, I'm not a history person, so I didn't retain.
Well, it doesn't mean I know everything that happened in history, Steve.
At least one of them, and I'm sure you.
What's that?
The Lincoln election after the Civil War was a blood.
Yeah, both of them were. Yeah.
Including Lincoln.
In Lincoln's first election, the Democrats didn't put him on the ballot in the South. I know they've done this. Yeah, sure. And they. No. It's not small potatoes. It's not small potatoes. They've arrested President Trump 3 times, and they're going to do it for a 4th. That's never happened before. It's not small potatoes, and the other things are not equivalent. Lincoln, and so far as John Wilkes Booth, that was after the that was after the re-election. No. This is Mark. I didn't see Levin. And I don't plan on it, but no, there's been nothing like this. They have not arrested candidates before.
Yeah, don't even. Maybe, actually, you know, I'll tell you what, maybe somebody out there, our listeners, I know have a great deal of intellectual curiosity, and I know a lot of them like Mark Levin. Guys, one day reprieve, Brian won't be mad at you for breaking your pledge not to listen to
Fox.
Call in and see if you can some examples of what
there have been nasty campaigns. I give you another example, okay? This whole thing about Thomas Jefferson and I just forgot her name, Steve. What's the name of the slave of Sally Hemings? The whole story of Sally Hemings, okay? The whole Sally Hemings story came out of one of his presidential campaigns. Right? They started the opposition in one of his campaigns, I can't remember which one it was, but started running in newspapers ads accusing him of impregnating his slaves. That's where the whole Sally Hemings story came from. It doesn't equal arresting the leader of the opposition like this. No, this is unprecedented. None of these other things are even close.
No, I'll tell you, anybody else remember? Mark had 4 or 5 examples. That
Yeah. Okay. Well, if anyone saw Mark Levin last night, you're welcome to share. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Then to a Republican to find out what the difference is, if I can finish the question. The question is, we have the situation with the judges. We have a judge in Florida who is a MAGA judge who voted on some stuff that had to do with Trump and she helped him with it. And people asked her to accuse herself, and they was like, no, she's...
Recuse, not accuse. Recuse.
Accuse, okay, we got that straight. Okay, now let me finish. And then now we have a judge in Washington who is a liberal judge, and she's black.
Liberal.
Just let me finish. And now they want, because she's a liberal judge and she's an Obama-appointed judge, they want her to accuse herself.
Recuse, not accuse.
I'm getting that wrong. Okay, I'm giving you a good laugh. I'm giving you a good laugh on that word. You're doing good.
Okay, so finish the question, because I've got a good answer for you. But finish the question.
Okay, let me finish, and I want to hear your answer because I'm very serious. Because both of them, the Republicans feel she should go. The Democrats feel that the other one should go. So let me hear what the difference of those.
Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, all right. Well, you have to stop talking for me to answer. Well, first off, I'm not on a witness stand, and I'm going to answer it how I want to answer it. Okay, and so on the judge in D.C., there's a big problem with her. And the biggest problem is not that she was appointed by Obama or that she's a Democrat or even that she's a donor to Democrat campaigns. Before she was a federal judge, she was an attorney working at a big D.C. law firm. One of the attorneys she worked alongside with was Hunter Biden. They worked together at the same law firm in D.C. So out of all the federal judges, they could only find one who was a co-worker of Hunter Biden's at the law firm.
Spinning the wheel, just like down in Florida. Go ahead.
No, there's no spin of the wheel. Hunter Biden's father has arrested President Trump, right? Twice. So if a judge is a co-worker, yes, excuse me. The Hunter connection is enough for her to be removed from the case.
Okay, so let me tell you this. Down in Florida, this judge deliberately helped Trump out on one of his cases, and they made her go back and change it. So she's already a MAGA judge.
No, she got overruled in an appellate. Steve, I don't know who's calling you while you're on the air, but I'm going to mute you while we're doing this. She was overruled by an appellate court, which is very common with lower judges, okay? That doesn't mean anything. If you have an example of a bias that she may have, for example, did she work with someone who had Biden arrested in the past?
You said yourself, we don't have to worry about anything in Florida.
No, because she's a fair judge. See, conservative judges make rulings based on the law and the Constitution. Liberal judges, often referred to as activist judges, make rulings based on how they want things to be, regardless of the laws or the Constitution. But listen, we're late for a break. Jay from Jersey, I answered your question, and thank you for your call. We'll be right back.
Morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. It's another heat advisory day for all of our areas
Oh.
in South Florida. We'll see heat indices between 105 and 110, just a 30% coverage and some late afternoon and evening showers. I'm WPBS 25 First Morning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by
He just doesn't like the answer, Jay from Jersey. I mean, She's got a lot of problems, but being a coworker of Hunter's a big one at the law firm, wouldn't you think? I mean, come on.
PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
After a quiet start to the morning in the Palm Beaches, we now have a vehicle fire blocking the right lane on the turnpike heading southbound approaching Boynton Beach Boulevard. We are seeing some minor stop and go traffic on the approach for now. I-95 is still in good shape
Break
this morning.
these
We're
people.
accident-free, but we're not quite moving up to speed. We are seeing some light delay in the northbound side between Deerfield Beach and Boca Raton. The service queues are crashed at this time. This report is sponsored by Macy's. This week at Macy's, save on everything they need for back to school, like 30% off Levi's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster during Star Money bonus days now at Macy's. See Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sales and clearance prices. Exclusions apply. That's traffic on Chris Farm.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. The poker room at PBKC features daily cash games, mega bad beat jackpots, big money tournaments, and high hands every 20 minutes from 9 a.m. to midnight. Tournament players earn points towards cash prizes and big buy-ins. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum, and that is 7 days a week. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Tom LaPorta here from LaPorta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none.
I tell you, these callers. Jay, he's been waiting all weekend for that one. He thought he had something. He actually thought he had something there. But he didn't. Megan Rapinoe will be hired as a soccer commentator. I mean, how much soccer commentating do they have to do on ESPN? I know I've got bedhead today. I drove in with the windows down and the top open on the car.
If you own a retirement account, not only do you need to make smart investment choices, you need to make smart tax choices as well. The IRS is waiting to collect a part of that account, and you can minimize what they get, but you have to use the right strategies. To learn about these strategies to reduce taxes on your IRA account, text the word tax report to 474747. Text the word tax report to 474747 so you and your family can keep as much of your IRA as possible.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think?
No, I haven't wrecked Kathy's car lately. I was just running late this morning and my car had no gas in it, so I took Kathy's.
Lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009.
I'm not growing a beard. I'm just too lazy to shave. That's all.
No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them.
It's going to be 110 degrees today. Who can have a beard?
University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station. Mary on Demand.
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about Obama's chef. Just move along, accept their word for it. Just an accident. That's all you need to know.
Visit mary.famu.edu. That's mmeri.fam.
Now, I just don't really shave with a blade very often. I have a, like a trimmer, and I shave with a trimmer every few days. I just hate shaving.
46 years on the air.
All right, call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. So we settled the bias of the judge, Steve. It's very, very big bias. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1.
Hello.
Well, we've settled it in our minds.
In our minds, being the king, I think it's settled. I think it's going to save the country in the end, because that's the only thing that can stop these people, the Supreme Court.
Yep, that's right.
They will. Fortunately, there's a Supreme Court that's an old-fashioned hashtags Supreme Court.
Oh, it's a Trump court.
It's a Trump court, which means they're conservative and they are protective of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that.
Yep.
Our country will live to survive.
Well, another presidential term. All right, let's take some of these calls. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I saw Mark Levin. Brian, this is Richie.
Ah, Richie.
Call.
All right, you can get us. Since you saw Levin, you can call twice.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube. What he did was he showed, through the course of our history, the contested elections that went through the country, and that every election that was contested, including the Civil War and everything else, was done through Congress, not through a prosecutor and some crap that they're doing now. And he says everything is constant. And basically, the President of the United States has the authority and right and should do what Trump did if he thinks the election was sour.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be able to charge him for anything that he did while he was president.
And they gave
when it comes to this election.
Reggie, we didn't get knowledge of these things.
Oh yeah, he went through this. He went through where there were like four presidents from the same party, and they excluded, and it got really hot and heavy. People, there was fights in the street, it was riot. I mean, I understand, Brian. You're right when it comes to President Trump being arrested, but this is what Mark Levin basically said at the end.
Yeah.
Got a rogue prosecutor.
It's not a rogue prosecutor, okay? They've got a prosecutor that's working directly for the Attorney General, who's working directly for the Democrat president, okay? This is not some rogue prosecutor.
You know, this issue, it's going to get really, really nasty.
It's bad. This shouldn't go to court at all. This guy that called up from New Jersey. None of this should go to court.
Doesn't it have to go to court to go to the Supreme Court?
Yes, I believe so. I've heard people say that.
But there shouldn't have been charges from the very beginning on any of this. This is Democrats trying to steal an election right before our eyes.
Well, we know this. Listen. We know that none of these cases should be happening, but you know we're living in the real world, and what's all right. Appreciate the call, Richie.
Good programming over the next.
Well, yeah, whatever. But I'll tell you this, okay? Obviously, none of these should be happening. But I don't blame Jack Smith. He's not a rogue prosecutor. He is working directly for the Attorney General and the President of the United States to arrest, charge, and imprison, if they have their way, the leading political opponent to them. His name's Donald Trump. So if I didn't see Levin, but if Levin said rogue prosecutor, that takes the responsibility away from these very bad people above him. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to us on. Oh my goodness, this must be a liberal. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, that's the liberal response, Steve. That's the liberal response. Now, that's it. So, over on CNN, they're having fantasies of Trump going to prison, and I picked this clip up. Kaitlan Collins, who was humiliated by President Trump in that CNN town hall a couple months back, she asked a question: what will the Secret Service do if Trump is in prison? And she actually brought a retired Secret Service agent on to discuss the Secret Service protective detail while Trump is in prison for all these things. Listen.
Mind
Mm-hmm.
There's also the Biden issue is still integrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of the treason.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So let me play. So this is Kaitlan Collins, and then she brings in a Secret Service lady that is talking about how the Secret Service will protect President Trump even while in prison. Listen to this. They've really thought hard about this on CNN.
Is there their job to protect the former president. We saw the Secret Service go to court with Trump as a criminal defendant yesterday. But what would his security detail do if he actually had to go to prison? A former agent is with me next. Given they have Secret Service protection for life, how would that work?
I actually don't think it's going to be very difficult. He's going to a very secure location. So depending on what prison he goes, federal or state, because he's also being charged in New York through the state, Miami, D.C., they're charging him federally. So there's also a difference between the...
Now this lady is a retired Secret Service agent, okay? So she has expertise in this fantasy over on CNN.
If you want to go to prison, you want to go to a federal prison, they're typically safer. State prisons tend to have more violent offenders there. So that's one thing. The other thing is they already have their own security set up. So Bureau of Prisons, let's say he goes federal, they've got their own system set up. It's already safe. You're actually looking at less manpower, less resources, less money, definitely less money for taxpayers. So when I see that,
Kaitlan Collins doesn't ask any of that.
Going to an already secure facility. The kicker comes in, and well, who's he going to be with, right? Yeah.
Okay, so now again, this is CNN. Kaitlan Collins, retired Secret Service agent. So now they're talking about putting what it'll be like for Trump in general population in the prison. They're going to get in, and they just assume he's going to prison. The only question is it federal or state? And now the Secret Service agent is going to talk about what happens to President Trump when he's put in general population in this prison fantasy.
Kicker comes in, and well, who's he going to be with, right? Yeah. Where are they actually going to put him? And so I could see them actually moving people around or inmates around to try to figure out who to put him near, which is interesting because usually we would always name check people to see if they would have a criminal record whenever anybody goes near the president. They're all going to have criminal records. So having said that, I would look for offenders who have nonviolent crime. That's the number one thing we want. Then we also want to look at reoffenders. If you have somebody who's reoffending over and over and over again, that tends to be somebody a bit more hardened. So I would want first-time offenders. So the idea would be you can probably maybe shuffle people around and put those people there. But at the end of the day, it's a secure environment. Secret Service will probably give him what's called shift agents. Shift is when you see agents who accompany the president, when you see him coming out of Air Force One, Marine One. It's the group, the contingency that walks around him. That's what you might see, and detail leaders.
Okay, so he's going to be in general population in the federal prison, according to this retired Secret Service agent, and they're going to have shift agents that surround him when he's out in the yard and all of these places.
To shadow him around.
Yeah. What I was fascinated by is the Washington Post wrote a story on this today. They actually reached out to the Secret Service, where obviously you used to work, and they asked them just to comment. But they said, we don't have a comment because this is unprecedented. There is no policy for this. This is not something we've ever had to deal with before. I mean, how do you even go about creating a structure and a policy for that?
I don't think that you need a policy for it, because when you do protection, so the president goes somewhere. Let's say the president comes here. I'm going to do an advance of this location. I'm going to check out the structure, the ways in, the ways out, the security plan. I'm going to look at all of it. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where he goes. The advance does its thing. They do a thorough assessment. Even if it's prison. I'm telling you, prison is just, it's secure. It's already got the manpower there. They already got it locked down. They're already they've got their magnetometers. They're securing everybody. So to me, I see that as a safe place. Now, is it a strange thing to go to work and to say, I'm going to work to secure the president in prison? Yes, I think from the psychological factor that does play is relevant. But I also look at it, if we look at it from an international level, there have been so many heads of state all over the world who've gone from prime minister and president to going to prison.
Heavy pumpers. We will see what happens, of course. Thank you.
All right, yeah, that's CNN. Talk about a fantasy, Steve. My Lord.
There's only one reason that it's a joke, and that's because of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court, it wouldn't be so fun.
No, he's not going to end up in prison. He's not going to end up in prison. And if he's in prison, Steve, he can pardon himself when he's reelected. So on day one, he'll pardon himself. And I guess he'll also pardon all the friends he makes while he's in general population in this prison.
Make that movie.
Oh, my Lord. All right, listen, we're going to... Yeah, exactly. Listen, we're going to take our last break of the hour and be right back with your calls after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and
These people are out of their freaking minds. And what's crazy about that is, over on CNN, that all is like real to them. Like we're there. They've already got him convicted. Now they're just, got to figure out what prison to put him in and what population and everything else.
So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about our family dentist at the Kane household, Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. From cleanings to implants, he does it all. We love Dr. Gupta.
That is hilarious to me.
The pain and the anxiety out of dental work, all at an affordable price. Call Dr. Gupta at 954-922-4633. Tell him Steve sent you.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers, and we pay cash for houses. If you want to sell your home fast and easy without a realtor and save thousands in commissions and closing costs, call me at 561-570-7070. You can sell us your home in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. We can even pay you a cash advance before the closing, and we guarantee to make you a fair and honest offer. Our home buying process is simple, and we can make you a cash offer over the phone or in person, whatever works for you. Do you have a home that needs a lot of work? Did you inherit a house you don't want? No problem. We can buy your home no matter the condition or situation. You don't need to clean or fix anything, and there's no commissions or closing costs. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, we'll buy it. Call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of Celebrity Cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is...
All right, we are back 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Back to our very busy Monday morning phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, this is Wellington.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, just chiming in on this whole indictment charade of hopefuls for the liberals. But, I mean, for me, it's like this Kaitlan Collins thing just kind of proves the point that they are just fantasizing and dripping from the mouth and drooling like children over candy, seeing him go to prison. But I almost want Trump to go visit wherever they're saying that he would go and see what the general population thinks of him, because I think they would roll in celebration. I think it would make them look terrible.
If God forbid Donald Trump ever went to jail, given the incredible magnitude of his personality and his abilities to influence people, when he left, which I have a feeling would be pretty quick, because I don't think they'd want him in there very long, But no, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of people think that Hillary Clinton didn't face consequences for her crimes. You know, when President Trump was chanting "lock her up," she went to one of the worst sentences a federal prisoner has ever gotten, in one of the worst supermaxes in America. And Hillary Clinton, of course, was sentenced to go back to Chappaqua, whatever that place is called in New York, and live the rest of her life with Bill Clinton. And I can think of no incarceration worse than Mrs. Clinton and President Clinton living together in the same house. Oh man.
Well, chiming in on that, I just want to get an opinion on RFK from you. I really don't hear you speak on him.
You can't trust him either. You can't, listen. I like Robert Kennedy Jr. for two reasons. One, he's a major disruptor and divider in the Democrat Party in a presidential election, and I hope that he goes third party and siphons votes away. That's number one. Number two, I like that he's bringing attention to the fact that the deep state killed his father and his uncle. And I like all that. But no. The only thing I support about Robert Kennedy Jr. is him dividing the Republican or the Democrats.
Consider interviewing him?
Yeah, if he wants to come on, he's welcome. I'd like to ask his position on abortion.
Anything.
Now, if I had Robert Kennedy on right now at this point, it'd be a puff piece, because I want Democrats to support and vote for him.
if you wanted to do a puff piece, I would like to, alongside it, do a serious piece, so we don't waste the opportunity.
Yeah, no, it'd be serious. You know who I'd really like to have on the show is Ron DeSantis.
Do that.
Why not?
You got a shot with RFK though. If you get RFK on, I feel like he'll accept your offer to come on.
Oh, all right, I'll call him up. You got Bobby's number, Steve? I'll see. I'll see. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh my.
Harvey in Bhutan.
You okay, Harvey?
What's up?
Steve, how are you?
Good.
All right, I love your stuff there. Do you get paid to promote this moron, this crook?
Who are you talking about?
You get paid to support this Trump loser?
Well, yeah, this is yeah, absolutely, Steve.
Go ahead. Tell me a little more.
Well, you can't admit that you've been con. He's just a con man. He's like P.T. Barnum. He's just another version of P.T. Barnum. Don't you remember what he did in Florida with the Trump University? He should have been in jail for that years ago. Except he bought off.
I'm not familiar with that. What did he do with Trump University? What did he do with the school?
It was in Chicago. It was in New York.
What did he do with Trump University?
It was in Florida. And he was invested.
What did he do?
The whole thing was a con. He charged people up to $50,000.
And
he pled guilty.
No, he didn't. First off, there was no criminal case. There was a civil case, and there was no ruling. He settled out of court, but
He settled out of court. He's just a crook.
Well, that's you said he was found guilty in a court. There was not even a criminal case.
You know what? Come on, can we talk? Are you afraid to talk to me? Are you afraid?
No, not at all.
Right, let's go back and forth. I'm very interested in what you're saying. All right.
In the very beginning, I supported Trump, and I soon realized I still remember he's just a con man.
What was the turning point for you? Was it when he?
Well, Trump University was one of them.
The price of gas? Was that what you got angry about him for? When he kept down inflation?
He brought the price of gas back up. Don't you remember when he supported his friends, the Saudi Arabians, because gas $1 a gallon?
No.
The price back up. He called his friends in the gas companies, and they turned it around right away. They got it back up right away. It was hitting $1 a gallon and going down further.
You know, you know what I'm confused about. A couple things here. Steve. What I'm confused. Slow down, Harvey. Over the years on the Steve Kane show, Steve, any caller we've had named Harvey has always been kind of like a, little.
Rabbit.
Exactly. People just a little off a little bit. Now, first off, you said you supported him until the Trump University. Why did you support him originally and vote for him?
I figured he was a multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire, and didn't need the money, and he wouldn't be a crook.
But I haven't heard anything that he's done that's crooked. That you've. That's a talking point.
Our Attorney General.
No, there was a civil lawsuit against Trump University, which he settled out of court. And what some people had alleged. Okay, see, I know what you're trying to talk about. You don't know. Okay, it was an expensive thing, and some people sued, alleging that they could not have a real estate career with the education they received at Trump University, right? That was the case, and that was what made him settle out of court, and they took him to court. You're aware of that, caller? Yes. Okay. Now, you're calling from where? Where are you located?
Right now, I'm in Daytona Beach.
You're in Daytona Beach. Okay. Well, Steve had asked me earlier when we were talking about Mark Levin about my college education. I have a degree in history. I have a degree in education. I'm not a historian, and I'm not a school teacher. I'm a graduate of Florida Atlantic University, which is in Boca. Have I been defrauded by Florida Atlantic University because I have a degree in something that I'm not working in? Do they owe me money?
The Trump University.
No. I didn't ask about Trump. Let me ask, Steve, you have 2 master's degrees in film. Steve is not working in the movie business. Do the universities that he earned master's degrees from, have they defrauded him? Do they owe Steve money because he's not working in the movie business?
Why did Trump settle the case?
No. I'm asking the questions now. We're addressing what you've said. I'll answer that part when we're done. See, people all the time go to college. Not that Trump University was a real college, but people go to college and never work in that. Geraldo Rivera has a law degree. He never practiced law. A lot of people go to college and get degrees in fields that they never work in. Just because, or sometimes they get a degree and they fail in that field. It doesn't mean that the institution of higher learning is. He's talking about.
Sidetracking callers, I know that.
I'm just asking you a question. Are you afraid to answer it?
What was the question? I can't. Brian won't let you speak.
So you're too busy being a wise guy to get involved in this discussion? Is that what you're telling me? That's what I'm hearing.
I'm waiting to hear your question, Steve. Speak up.
I just asked you the question. What was your degree in?
I didn't go. I went to college for a few weeks, and I realized that they're talking to you like you're a moron.
Oh,
I went
so
to
you were
State
smarter than the college. Okay.
Smarter than the college, Steve, yeah. But he did learn how to be a moron, apparently, in college.
Yes, we're going to give you a name that we usually wait till later for desperate chronics. You're Mr. Moron.
Yeah, Harvey, listen. Listen, Harvey, by the way, just thanks for the call, Harvey. But the reason that Donald Trump settled is it's cheaper oftentimes for someone who's incredibly wealthy like President Trump to settle a case as opposed to going to court for years and years and paying huge legal fees. All right. Now, before we, if you're on hold, stand by. Now, before we break, I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. It's been 5 times now that Dr. Appleton has treated me with his laser away pain treatment for pain. He's rid me of the pain each and every time, and the pain has never returned. My arthritis pain, gone. My knee pain, that was the first time I had treatment from Dr. Appleton. That was over a year ago. The pain has not returned. Most recently, my shoulder from my skateboard accident. The laser away pain treatment from Dr. Appleton works. It's worked on me 5 times. Now, if I would just stop doing stupid things and hurting myself, I'd be much better off. But I am retiring the skateboard because 4 of the 5 injuries were skateboard related. So I think it's the skateboard that's killing me here. But Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment works on all kinds of pain: arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, lumbar pain, herniated disc. If you're in pain, go see Dr. Appleton. All right? With the laser wave pain treatment, there are no drugs, no shots, no downtime, and no contracts. You pay as you go. Give him a call. His number 954-973-0710. When you call, he will text you directions to your office if you need directions, all right? 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio, all right? 954-973-0710 for Dr. Appleton, and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We got one more hour to go. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rogues Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Rogues, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Home Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the only forecast.
Good morning, everybody. It's another heat advisory day for all of our area of South Florida. We'll see heat indices between 105 and 110, just a 30% coverage with some late afternoon and evening showers. I'm WPBS 25 first warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Earlier vehicle fired off the shoulder on the turnpike heading southbound approach towards Beach Boulevard. That right lane has cleared with some underslays along the approach. The rest of the Palm Beach Area Center free at this time. I-95 is still in good shape, which is northbound on 95. Boca. Also on the southbound side of I-95 past Boulevard. So we see the crash through. This report is sponsored by Tri-County Metals. Not sure which metal panel is best for your project? Find Tri-County Metals free panel selector tool on their website at TriCountyMetals.com. They'll help you make your decision, and it's free and easy at TriCountyMetals.com. Watch out for people.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. The poker room at PBKC features daily cash games, mega bad beat jackpots, big money tournaments, and high hits every 20 minutes from 9 a.m. to midnight. Tournament players earn points towards cash prizes and big buy-ins. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum, and that is 7 days a week. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. Firefighting tragedy in Southern California. 2 firefighting helicopters collided midair while battling a brush fire in Riverside County. 1 crashed, all 3 on board were killed. As for the other chopper, CAL FIRE Southern Region Chief David Fulcher.
The individuals in the first helicopter were able to land safely without incident, and no one else was hurt.
Stretch of the southbound I-81 in Dauphin County, Pennsylvania is closed after charter bus and a passenger vehicle collided. Pennsylvania State Troopers reporting multiple fatalities and injuries as many as 50 people.
Well, this idea that any institution is required to find you employment is absurd. A lot of people get degrees, and Trump University isn't a real college. Real estate kind of thing, but
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always do the extra mile, and the ones who get in early, so everyone can go home on time. Here's Granger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts, so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Join us for Moments of Scripture, hosted by Jan Copeland every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture.
wow.
Sunday at 6 a.m.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Greg.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Steve Kane here. The phone's very busy for a Monday at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's IB. Good morning, Steve. Hey, really quick. Swell, girl. I'm breathing. Hey, really quickly, for this guy to talk about a couple of years ago about George Soros, supposedly whatever, he didn't know his background and so forth. When George Soros was a kid, he actually snitched to the Nazis on his own people for any valuables that they had.
He turned Jews over to the Nazis and said he had no regrets for doing it.
Yes, but he also told who had the jewels, who had good furniture, who had good artwork, and he was asked. Now he was a kid then, right? A kid, less than 19, less than 14. But as a grown man in his 60s and 70s, when asked the question, did he have any remorse or did he regret doing that? He put a smirk on his face and kind of shook his head as if. And I don't get that kind of thinking by the.
It's called evil. It's called evil. It's called the devil, Satan.
Don't forget how everyone is propped up in this country. There's always someone in the background being pushed towards the presidency. This guy went to Yale, and he also had an intern, an exchange student in China. I believe this guy seriously likes Xi Jinping. Yeah, I think he admires him. Secretly.
Look, not
to
be an unfair critic, but the reality is this guy's Swami is going nowhere. For a while in the beginning, I thought, anything can happen in politics. That it's some kind of a weird. A lot of it is chemical, and some of these guys, if you have the right chemistry at that 1 in a million, you hit the jackpot, and you can start a successful campaign. But that was what was going on here. But the point, there's no staying power there. And Trump, all these people that are worried about Trump's appointment, they're all big Trump lovers. Brian is the greatest.
Steve, yeah.
You agree this guy's going nowhere?
No. All right.
Nowhere unless Donald Trump decided to back him, and that doesn't show a lot of faith in Donald Trump.
I don't. Well, no, President Trump, this is a problem, Steve. No. President Trump, in one of his recent speeches I can't remember if it was Pennsylvania or which one of the speeches, but in his recent speeches, he said very positive things about Ramaswamy. And what Ramaswamy is not going to get elected to anything, but there's a danger. Trump has been saying nice things about him in some of his recent speeches, and he could find his way in Trump's circle if we're not careful.
Confidence in Trump.
Look, Vivek right now, he's simply saying the things that we want to hear. We already know about China and how to correct that situation with China and what they're doing, stealing our intellectual and so forth.
Well, the thing with Ramaswamy is now that I just learned this over the weekend, and it's in his own words. He's connected to George Soros, and that's a disqualifier.
That alone right there to me could be as if you have like a donors backing you to have been backed by that guy going to put him in school. Come on.
It doesn't make any sense, Brian.
What?
There are bigger things to worry about.
No, Steve. This guy Ramaswamy. No, Steve. Ramaswamy is very dangerous. He's being promoted by conservative MAGA media, big time, and yeah.
Remember, Barack came out of nowhere, even though he was in the Senate. No one knew that name until a certain point. This guy comes out of nowhere. We don't know how he got the money for his company, how he became a multi-billion-dollar in such a short period. Who were the people that get...
The problem, I'm not worried about him getting elected, okay, or a nomination or anything. What I'm worried about is him having a seat at the table for the future of our MAGA movement with President Trump. And this Soros connection, to me, it's it.
Personally, I don't want another Muslim near the White House, period.
He's not Muslim. He's not Muslim. He's Hindu.
can call him Hindu, but I consider from that region. Anyway, but Trump was already talking action to stop the things that China is doing. Trump has been dealing with China before.
All right, listen, we're getting it. It's not open phones today, okay? Appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi. Hey, Brian, I'm Steve from the Chicago area.
Yes, Steve. Speak up, Steve. You got a bad connection.
Oh, okay. Well, I just think this Ramaswamy guy could be a spy or a disruptor of Trump.
Yes, I agree.
I am nervous about it because I think Trump is a little too trusting. I've been a Trump fan for 30 years. Since the 70s. I've been a Trump fan since the 70s. And he is a little too trusting. And I'm just nervous about this Ramaswamy.
Don't be nervous.
Steve, Trump has been saying good things about him in his recent speeches. He's weak, and there's this new story right now that he's suing the Justice. Ramaswamy is caller. I got to let you go because there's some feedback. But Ramaswamy is squirming his way into Trump's orbit.
You think he's gonna fool Trump?
No, well, we got to put a spotlight on him. We got to put a spotlight on him so that it gets back to Trump, is what I'm telling you. Let me play this clip. I'll play one more time. I played this earlier in the show. This is astounding. This is Ramaswamy talking about his George Soros connection.
What is my connection with George Soros? Answer, none. Zero. Indirect, direct, zero connection.
Now listen to this.
Soros. Why are people asking this question? It's because back in 2010, by the way, long before George Soros had completely fallen off the deep end and gone into these progressive causes, funding these disastrous, toxic prosecutors who are soft on crime, who I've also railed against. Long before then, in 2010, I won a scholarship when I was 24, 25 years old, headed to law school, that was partly funded by, not George Soros, but Paul Soros, who's a relative, a brother of George Soros, who made his money independently.
Okay, so his graduate school was paid for by George Soros' brother. You should be, Steve. This guy is being promoted all over MAGA media. The conservative media are elevating this guy so that he gets a seat at the table. And we don't want this guy to have a seat at the table. In his own comment, he lies. He says he has no indirect connections to Soros. Well, when his brother's paying your way through school, I think that's a connection. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, guys. It's Lisa in Texas.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, guys. Listen, yeah, Ramaswamy, he's smarmy. He's another, it's just like Obama, where we didn't know who he was, we didn't do enough research, and we found out he was raised by communists. This guy made his money with, what was it, vaccines also or something?
He comes from the pharmaceutical industry.
Not good.
Well, Steve, I'm suspicious of a guy whose college was paid for by George Soros' brother. He was broke in 2010, and at 37, he's retired and a multi-billionaire who's trying to wiggle his way into Trump's circle. This guy's a spy.
This guy is no good. He shouldn't be trusted. I'm done with him now, especially after hearing about Paul, the brother. Like, that's not a big connection. Are you kidding me? George Soros, he didn't change in 2010, like you said. He has been a Nazi since a teenager.
That's right.
He was killing his own people as a teenager and thought it was a fine.
And what happened in 2010 is he expanded out of national politics into local politics with the prosecutors and things, and that's why we got a crime wave in this country. And Ramaswamy said, oh, that was before he became a leftist. This guy's always been an anarchist, radical leftist. Let me ask you, caller, because Steve has a serious disagreement here. But and I don't know, it may be because he's wealthy and he's buying his way in. I don't know. But Fox News is where I first heard of Ramaswamy. He was on there all the time before I left. Don't you see a lot of conservative MAGA media promoting Ramaswamy?
I'm seeing a fair amount, yes, and it is scary, and we do need to get the word out, and I'm doing it as much as I can because this guy's a snake in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like the story that Trump tells about.
No, Steve. The problem with Ramaswamy, Steve, is that he is so popular with millennials and Gen Z. Like I saw him at the Turning Point, and he came out, and these stupid Gen Z kids and millennials, they're falling down on the floor like he's a rock star.
Discovered the truth all by yourself.
Mm.
Maybe that's what it's about. Maybe it's about, from what I'm hearing out there, one of the big areas where Trump needs help is with millennials. Maybe that's what I'm not predicting this, but maybe he's got something in mind for a vice presidency, or maybe
yeah, I don't want someone whose college was paid for by anyone whose name was Soros anywhere near Trump. I would rather have Stormy Daniels in the cabinet than this guy. Stormy Daniels would be less risky. Well, what do you think, caller? Stormy Daniels or Ramaswamy? No.
Ramaswamy is, he is. I had something I was going to say. Now I can't remember what it was.
Well, next time you call.
He's not the guy. Yeah.
No, he's a spy. All right, we'll take our break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show.
Who would you rather have in the cabinet? Ramaswamy or Stormy Daniels? Who could do the most damage?
I think Steve might have been onto something there just for a moment. That maybe Trump's using Vivek as when he beats him and makes him drop out.
Yeah.
All the millennials and Gen Zs are going to have to go to Trump.
Maybe. That's possible.
So maybe it's just, okay, keep him around so people follow him, and then once he loses, it's like, all right, we have to go back.
Exactly.
So,
It is true.
Yeah. Neither is not a choice. Who could do the most damage?
Its 20th anniversary season, and the dish checks out Tommy Bahama's new Marlin Bar at the Gardens Mall. Read these and other stories in Florida Weekly. Available throughout Palm Beach County. Available online at floridaweekly.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University, on the south side of Sample Road.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve's here now. This is a limited time offer, guys. Take advantage of it. And I'm talking about the Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer. And I have this doorbell camera. I love it. I probably shouldn't reveal this, but I do not live in a gated community but I know I'm safe and secure because I got the security system in the doorbell camera. That's why I got it. Yeah, if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone just like mine. All right, I also have it on my iPad, so I can see it on my iPad too. And also, Sloman's, they're going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. This is a limited time offer, so call now, 1-833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. All right, so we're not going to agree on Ramaswamy, but did you see what happened to Mitch McConnell, Steve?
Yeah.
You know, I haven't heard, no, there's something else happened over the weekend. You're talking about the stroke. No, this isn't the stroke. You know, he is the senior senator from Kentucky, and he was speaking at an event in Kentucky and giving a speech, and he was heckled by his fellow Kentuckians so loudly you couldn't even hear him speak. Listen to this. This is Mitch McConnell yesterday speaking in Kentucky. They're yelling, retire, retire, while he's speaking. This goes on for like 10 minutes. Retire. Yeah, oh man, that went on for 10 minutes or so. Oh man. Oh man, this was the weekend of hecklers, and then Pence was somewhere doing something, and this is Mike Pence over the weekend at a campaign stop. Guy just yelled, he's right in Pence's face, why'd you sell out the country? Right? Okay, I mean, so he just, yeah, oh my goodness. It was worse for Mitch, but it was really bad for Pence too. When the guy said, why'd you violate the Constitution? He said, read it. He had that great Christian response of turning the other cheek, not. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's me, Steve, from Chicago again.
Okay, we got a better connection now, Chicago. But do me a favor, turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to us on in the background because of the delay. See, I can hear myself. Now, this is a disaster.
It is. I'm sorry.
Well, call back another day, Chicago.
All right.
All right, call back another day when you can figure out how to use the phone. But no, Steve, a lot's been happening the last few days. Very busy weekend. President Trump spoke twice over the weekend at these Republican dinners, which I thought looked great. Yeah, what'd you think?
The first one he seemed exhausted at, but the more he's so amazing. The more he talks, he works himself. No matter how exhausted he is, he feeds on his own energy. And if he's a little slow at the start, he finds a way to pick it up and finds another level. And
yeah,
it was good. I mean, this whole campaign's going to be fought like this. It's going to be the crooks with the Bidens on the one side, and Trump and his gang that he's got us. It's going to.
Yeah.
Is much better than his, I can tell you.
Do you think that Trump should do that Republican debate on Fox?
No.
Oh, good.
What's going to happen? Well, I think what is going to happen is he is going to set up, you know how when years ago, when we went over the basics, I was teaching you about producing. And I said the greatest shows are those where you get both two sides that'll go off against each other and
Yeah.
well, that's what's going to happen. He's going to pick somebody to team up with, and he's going to put on his own event, and it'll be done in plenty of time to promote it and everything like that. And what's going to happen is all of the eyes that night on television are going to be watching if it runs the same time.
Yeah.
He'll wipe them out.
Oh, yeah.
That'll prove the point.
Yeah.
That'll be the close right there.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Shows up.
That would be good. You know, Ron DeSantis is in big trouble. He had some big problems over the... No, oh, yeah, but it's gotten worse. His top donor is backing out. He's losing his top donor. That's one. And he did something that was so fake and desperate over the weekend. Now, this was unbelievable. Now, you might have seen last week, I played the audio of this. After the D.C. indictment, Trump went back to New Jersey to his country club, and then there was a wedding taking place, and he went over to the wedding, and they were cheering him on. And, you know, that's been kind of a thing we've seen over the years with President Trump. He goes to weddings that are at his venues, and they cheer him on. Well, over the weekend, Ron and Casey DeSantis went to the wedding of a state representative to try to gain ground in Iowa. And unfortunately, this is video, so I'll just have to describe it for you. It is the most uncomfortable, bizarre, fake thing I've ever seen. It takes place in Iowa, so this isn't even a member of Congress. It's a state rep. So the state rep gets married. They walk out of the wedding hall, and who comes right behind them is Ron DeSantis and Walmart Melania. And they're like, I don't even think the people at the wedding knew who they are. You know, they're like, who are these people? I don't remember seeing him, you know. And they're walking around. He's trying to be Trump. And it's so fake. It's so pathetic. It's a video. It doesn't work on the radio to play the audio because it's just some background noise at a wedding. But it's just, and when DeSantis comes out with Casey DeSantis behind the guy, they're grinning ear to ear like they're doing. It's really pathetic. Ron DeSantis and his wife Casey turned an Iowa State rep's wedding into a campaign stunt. This is in the Daily Mail, as DeSantis tried to close the gap between himself and Donald Trump. The Florida governor had been in Iowa and made an appearance at the wedding of Iowa State Rep Taylor Collins and his wife Savannah. DeSantis and his wife walked behind the newlyweds as they made their way into the event held at a building in the state capitol. In videos shared to social media, the Florida governor was greeted by cheers of people wondering, who the heck is this guy? Now, they did, well, you know. His appearance at the wedding is just pathetic. And when you see it online, I don't know if they'll show it on TV because the TV are so into promoting DeSantis, but go and look for this after 9 o'clock. Look for this online, and it's really sad, pathetic. I am embarrassed for him. It's up there. It's very, I don't know. This is, Steve, I felt embarrassed for Ron DeSantis when I watched this. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Did you guys see that video of the wedding? Anybody see that? It's really bad.
From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. It's another heat advisory day for all of our area of South Florida. We'll see heat indices between 105 and 110, just a 30% coverage of some late afternoon and evening showers. I'm WPBS 25 First Morning Meteorologist Sandra.
Voices of Americans and how climate change is affecting their feelings.
Route 1 Central Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now,
Oh, yeah. Did you guys see the wedding thing? What an embarrassment.
95 still in pretty good shape for the Palm Beaches this morning, but we are seeing a new incident now.
Complete embarrassment.
After Atlantic Avenue, a disabled vehicle has a left lane block. Some minor delay on the approach there. We're still seeing the usual buildups. 95 heading north off to Deerfield Beach and Boca. Also on the southbound side of I-95 approaching Boynton Beach Boulevard. We also have an accident there blocking the left.
Yeah, that was funny.
Right, some stopping.
The go-go boots, yeah.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the blue check, you know the part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's traffic on Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. The poker room at PBKC features daily cash games, mega bad beat jackpots, big money tournaments, and high hands every 20 minutes from 9 a.m. to midnight. Tournament players earn points towards cash prizes and big buy-ins. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum, and that is 7 days
Oh, yeah.
a week. Go to PB Kennel Club.
Yeah, except when Trump goes to the weddings, the people know who he is, right? Like if the governor of Iowa walked in this room, I wouldn't even know who they are. I'm sure it's the same for DeSantis in Iowa.
I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloan Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet them, they're like Joe Biden.
We'll be back shortly.
To be like him. And then I meet them again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurant Day. Listen up, for all the locals out there, it's time for a deal. Half price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town. Forget about it. Where else are you going to get delicious beef braciole, linguine clam sauce, lasagna, pork chops? Nowhere. My prices are insane. Stop going to those fugazi joints. You're not going to find great food and entertainment like at Uncle Eddie's. Where else are you going to go and have the owner sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's, 4050 US 1, just north of Donald Ross Road. 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are.
coverage is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Mary on Demand is live. Start your marijuana education journey today and learn more with Mary on Demand. Take the self-guided education series at your own pace. You decide what you'd like to learn and when. Visit mary.famu.edu to learn more. That's mmeri.famu.edu. Mary, educate, learn, talk.
Now, to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Oh, man, what an were you cheering when the Women's World Cup team lost, Steve? Did you bet against them? Oh, there you go. Yeah. Sweden? No, I don't know. All right, 1-888 go came one. Well, the game, the women's World Cup has been playing like at 3 in the morning, and you've been watching it like all week. So. Mm-hmm. Mm. Bored. Yeah. Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Deerfield.
Hey, Brian, how are you? Brian, there's no question we have no shortage of snakes and rhinos in the Republican Party. Vivek was making a lot of inroads there, and he's got, a bit of a charm in that, so I hope he's going to come out and be exposed for...
I'm doing my best. I made a special YouTube video with much more damaging information on Vivek Ramaswamy. He wrote an article that was in... let me see, it was either Politico or Vanity Fair. I believe it was Politico in September, where he called MAGA Republicans crybabies. Called us crybabies in September.
In September, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's on I made a whole YouTube video about Ramaswamy. Anyway, what's on your mind today?
Well, I tell you what, this George Soros, the amount of damage he's done to this country, and his strategy of funding and getting these radical DAs around the country in these key cities. What a disaster that's been. What a disaster that's been. And I've heard, but
let me look at Steve. You saw this influencer that caused this riot in New York over the weekend. And what they let him out. They let him out. You saw what he did. He caused a riot because of the Soros prosecutor up there. It's Ramaswamy's funder. George Soros put Bragg in place up there.
Absolutely. And then who comes down on Trump with the charges out of New York?
Mm-hmm.
He put $1 million, I heard, into Bragg's campaign for district attorney. But this is out to the complete anarchy around the country, and we got to get these guys out. But I've heard that his son, who he turned the reins over to, may be even more radical than him.
Yeah, and he's at the White House all the time.
Unbelievable. Maybe Ramaswamy maybe exposed for what he is on the debates, and I agree. Trump shouldn't do debates. He's above that. He's above that.
I'm telling you, this is going to be the first presidential election in modern times without debates. Biden's not going to debate Trump when Trump has the nomination. So there'll probably be no debates.
See what happens on the first debate, which is it's going to be a triumph for Trump because he's going to go in there on another venue and get every television set in America to, because he's going to create one of his great public events. Put in Megan.
Well, she used to be there, Megan Kelly.
Maybe he'll bring in. I was thinking about this. I always got my frustrated producer's hat on. I'm trying to remember the other one I thought of that would have been great. I'll think of it.
Tucker.
Tucker. This man knows me. Tucker. Just imagine that. Have Tucker there during the debate and play off getting at the other debate.
But I don't think I don't think any of the other news outlets except Newsmax would cover it, though. I don't think CNN or MSNBC would even cover it.
Everyone's gonna cover.
Yep.
I'm all for the democratic process. I love the debates, but in the way the country is these days, I wish we could just skip these. I don't want to call them meaningless, but we know there's one guy who can bring this country back, and that's Donald Trump. And to me, going through all these debates, it's bells and whistles.
No, I'll tell you why it's important. I'll tell you, it's dawning on me what he's trying to do in his campaigns now. This is a battle for the hearts and minds of the American people between Trump and Biden.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it's going to play out, with that conflict being featured throughout the campaign. And whoever wins the image, the awareness award, is going to, and gets their story through, in the end, is going to win the election. And
Well, do you think Biden will be the nominee for the Democratic Party? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think he can stay on his feet that long.
No, no, I don't think so either. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to watch, but the debates without Trump in is going to be like a nut.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle.
No way. Michelle Obama is not good. She's never had a job, Steve. You got to get some sleep today, Steve. You got to get some sleep. You're getting loopy. Good morning. You're on the. I know that's how everybody gets. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Brian, Richard D'Souza.
Yeah, Richard. What's up?
I'm calling to disagree with you, especially about Ramaswamy. I do not know him. I will never vote for him. I'm all on Trump train, a Trump fan all over. But when you criticize someone, I just remember how Hillary Clinton and their group used to talk about congressmen from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Call her the Russian spy. No evidence. No.
She's bad news too. Tulsi Gabbard's pretty. Can I ask you what kind of accent you have? That's not a Coral Springs accent.
No, Indian. No, I'm from India.
Yeah, I know you're from India, and I love Indian people. However, you feel a bond to Ramaswamy because he's Hindu.
Sir.
Oh my goodness! Give me a break.
Okay, listen. I have a guy might be listening right now. His name is Francis. He put me onto the show. He'll be ashamed of you if you say that. Believe me, he's been listening to you for years. I've been listening to you for a couple of years. I've called 3 times. But when you put somebody down just because I said and my accent is Indian...
I'm not putting you down. I'm not putting you down.
Hold on, let me jump in. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize.
No, Brian,
to
Brian.
Now, hold on. You don't want to fight.
I'm not fighting.
There's nothing to apologize for.
Can I speak?
Yes, Steve, you can speak.
As a matter of fact, I'm looking for a great Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
It's hard to find great Indian food down here, so keep your eye open. Will you do that for me, my friend?
I will. But let me finish my thought. Firstly, Brian, you basically racially profiled me right now. If you literally go back and see, because of my accent, you said that I have a connection of Ramaswamy. No, sir. I only pledge allegiance to one country. I've been in this country for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids the same thing. They're all born here. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Very MAGA, very conservative.
Well, that's all good. Hold on, guy. What's your name again? What's your first name again? Richard, listen. I'm not racially profiling you. I've got common sense. All of a sudden, you're calling in defending a guy who's connected to George Soros, and for you to say that you don't feel some type of connection to him because he's Indian and you're Indian is come on, you're being dishonest.
No, but let me finish my thought. Let me ask you a question. I know I don't want to take your time, but you know what?
What's your point?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to say, Steve, is that Brian just put me down because of him. That's fine. I understand.
I'm not putting you down. It's just an observation.
Okay, observation, sir. Okay, I give you that. Okay, no problem. What I'm saying is, did you vote for Mitt Romney? in the election when he was the president?
When he was the Republican nominee, I did, yeah.
Yeah, but weren't you wrong that time? That you voted for, you wasted your vote for him today. Do you regret that?
Well, who else was I going to vote for? Obama?
So, yes, so basically what I'm saying is sometimes when you go to college, you take funds in 2010 or whenever, how do you know that his brother is going to be a rogue? Or do you know, okay, somebody's paying for my college, I'm going to go and check the history, who is paying? You take bribe?
He was, okay, no, excuse me, hold on a second here. Ramaswamy is a Soros Fellow. That's a title that they give people that have been backed by the Soros people. He hired Vivek Ramaswamy. There's an article in Forbes that details this, okay? This is all on my Twitter. I made a YouTube video about all this. He hired a Wikipedia editor to alter his bio on Wikipedia, removing his Soros Fellowship connection. So he thought it was something worthy of hiding.
I don't know, I've not researched that, but since you just said that Republicans were mega, he said that this mega Republicans were crybabies. You know what?
That's right.
You didn't tell, no, you didn't tell the context. He was putting the context. I was holding for you when he made the statement. It took me 2 minutes to Google and find out where the statement came from. He was comparing them to Stacey Abrams.
No, he was not. He wrote an article that, where he talked about, it was in Left-Wing Politico, Ramaswamy. He was talking in the article about Stacey Abrams, but he was also talking about Trump supporters, and he called us crybabies in the article.
Why did he say that? He said that
because he's fake MAGA.
Let me exercise my executive authority. Thank you for your call.
All right. Yeah, he will, Steve. But there's no. It's time for a break. We're gonna take our break. Our number 1-888 go. Wait. Let me hold on. Wait, Steve. Hold on a second here. I'm not sure what we're doing, Mike. What are we doing? Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay. Our number 1-888 go Kane 1. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, now we are going to get what I call the amateur gold report. We don't have William Youngerman this morning, but you're going to get the gold report with me and Steve, which it's so amateur. What that means is I go to WilliamYoungerman.com, William Youngerman's website, and I read the metals prices off of WilliamYoungerman.com. That's the amateur gold report. And this Monday morning, gold is down $6.40 at $1,937.20. Silver's down 19 cents at $23.53. And platinum is down $9 at $9.21. All right, and palladium is up $4 at $1,294 even. Now, we have been with William Youngerman, or he's been with us for many, many years. And I often tell you guys, when we first met William Youngerman, gold was just $435 an ounce. And now it's at $1,937.20 an ounce, which is absolutely amazing. And if we talk a lot about William Youngerman sells gold bullion and silver and all of that, but he also buys. If you have anything made of the metals, even old, ugly jewelry, even broken jewelry, or anything else that's made of the metals, go to William Youngerman's and turn it into money. All right, he gives free appraisals for Steve Kane Show listeners. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at WilliamYoungerman.com, and he opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. You can also call William Youngerman toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. We'll be right back.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. So the liberals are losing their minds. And I got this clip. This is from public television. And they bring on a new type of therapist, a climate therapist. It's a new area of mental health practices. A climate therapist. Listen to this.
Of Americans and how climate change is affecting their feelings. Leslie Davenport is a climate psychology therapist. She teaches at the California Institute of Integral Studies and is author of Emotional Resiliency in the Era of Climate Change. Leslie, when does healthy concern about the planet, about climate change, become this sort of climate anxiety?
Well, from the emerging field of climate psychology, one thing that's really important to understand is we view distress, upset, sadness, grief, anger about climate change to be a really reasonable, even healthy reaction.
Oh my goodness. That sounds like a great, if you're a therapist and business is slow, become a climate therapist. Apparently there's a lot of lunatics out there that are very upset that we're not doing enough about the climate. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, okay.
First time caller, I'm just letting you know that the 1470 AM is cutting out.
Yes, I know. I know. Well, you should probably listen on 95.3 FM, all right? Check that one out, and you'll have no problems, or 96.9, depending on where you are. But one of those two, you'll have no problem at all. You know, Steve, 95.3 and 96.9 FM, okay? You know, all the things we've covered today, and we've covered quite a few, the Ramaswamy issue is, see, what's happened with that is this is new stuff. You know, these things in the background that are coming out now are new to most people. I've heard people make some accusations. I never looked into it too much. But the reason I started looking into Ramaswamy over the weekend is when I heard Trump starting to say positive things about him. So we got to make sure he doesn't have a seat at Trump's table. And we've got to let it be known what this guy is all about. And, you know, yeah.
Protecting Trump from
Ramaswamy, yes. Yes. Well, I don't know if I'm protecting Trump, but we're letting the public know. No, that's what you said. That's what you said. You said, so you're protecting Trump, and I'm saying we're making people aware, Steve.
It sounds to me like you're protecting, like when you're ready to Paul Revere, the Ramaswamy.
Well, I'm nervous about Ramaswamy. Yeah, I'm very nervous about him. You know, I'm very nervous. Because, Steve, because he's being promoted, and Trump is complimenting him. Okay, he said good things about him. I don't like it. We need to get him out of the Trump orbit. He should. He's, you know. But everything I've said this morning. Steve, you're not gonna. I know what you're trying to. What you're trying to say is I don't trust Trump. How it sounds to you, who's been up for 3 days watching soccer.
The sound of our station.
I think, you know, I tell you what I think. When I
missed the boat. I forgot about Ramaswamy.
No, Steve, no. What I think that if Trump heard the clip of Ramaswamy bragging about how the Soros family paid for his graduate school education, I think he'd stop talking about him in a complimentary way in his speeches.
Right, so then what would that accomplish?
Steve, it would keep Ramaswamy out of the news. They're about to elevate him as one of the top conservative MAGA Steve, he's all over the news. He is all over the news constantly being interviewed by conservatives. And no one brings any of this up. No, it is not. It is not.
Yeah.
He's not going to... No, you're wrong.
Well, you know, it's insulting, actually, to the people we're talking to assume that they're that dumb.
See, Steve, I don't think he's going to get elected. Mayor Pete.
It's like assuming... Would you agree with me that anybody that votes for Mayor Pete is a head job?
Ramaswamy is much smarter, more slick, and cunning than Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete's he's got the brains of AOC. See, this, Steve, here's the danger with Ramaswamy. He's not going to get elected to anything, okay? But he's being elevated as a conservative voice in the MAGA movement throughout conservative media.
This, I mean, it's probably helpful, but I think that what it basically amounts to a minor annoyance. You have blown the importance of it. You have blown.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
If there weren't so many other things to talk about that.
Well, I'm always willing to turn the show over and go wherever you want to go, Steve. But I just don't think you. It depends on what you're watching, okay? The news that. No. The news that you're watching isn't highlighting Ramaswamy. Well, I don't watch Fox, Newsmax. Yeah, Newsmax are on to Ramaswamy. They don't give him too much publicity over there. But Ben Shapiro's people, all these other people in that Megan Kelly category, they have him all over the place, all the time, on every show, every interview. Well, I'm trying to let them know not to have him, if you have him on, hold him accountable for what he is. We've got enough traitors like Jenna Ellis.
On, you're going to be here, so that's no problem. You can hold his feet to them.
Steve, actually, I have actually requested an interview with Ramaswamy, and but we don't have it yet. No, I did this quite a while ago. After I saw him at Turning Point, I made contact with someone from the campaign and have talked to them about it, but it has not yet happened. And today probably won't help it happen any faster. Okay. All right. I don't know why you would be his friend. I'm not friends with people that are friends with George Soros' family.
Besides...
No, not sides. I'm very, very open about everything. This is, very open. This is we're on the air. These are not secrets.
Yeah, I'm on the record for saying so far I haven't seen anything about Ramaswamy that scares me.
Okay, well then you just haven't been paying attention, Steve. It depends on what you're watching. Okay, there was a whole town hall meeting with this guy on Friday. No, Steve. There was. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Now listen. Before we go, I want to tell everyone, of course, about the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, and I just ordered a new pet bed. We have a new cat, a stray cat we took in, and I wanted her to have her own pet bed, not one that has the smell of the old cat on it. And I ordered her a My Pillow pet bed. They're just $29.99 with the promo code Kane at checkout. They didn't. No. My daughter took her cat to California. So, but she left the pet bed because she didn't want to fly to California with the pet bed. And I wanted to get a new pet bed that did not have the scent of our old cat on it. So our new cat will have her own pet bed. And they're so inexpensive, just $29.99 for the My Pillow pet bed with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. They come in many different colors, and inside the My Pillow pet bed, they have the same patented fill inside that comes in the My Pillow. And you can actually wash and dry the whole pet bed, and it washes it inside and out. So the My Pillow pet bed, just $29.99 with our promo code Kane at checkout. They make a great gift. Now, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Also, I heard another heat warning today. The MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology is buy one, get one free with our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com. And I've been sleeping on this MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology all year. And it will just change your sleep like you can imagine, because your head and your face will always be the perfect temperature all night long. You'll never turn the pillow over again looking for the cool side. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so listen, this is going to be a big week of news. It's Monday, and I didn't even get to all my show prep today. And it's just, every day there's been news breaking every like 10 minutes. And this is going to be a big week as well. A lot of things are happening with President Trump. The DeSantis campaign is on life support trying to stay in existence past the Fox News debate because they have some fantasy that he's going to have a moment in a debate without Trump where he comes out the big star. So we've got a lot we're going to be covering this week. All right, guys, thanks everyone who's tuned in. We got a lot of people calling in today that brought up some very interesting points for the most part. So all of you who called in today, thanks so much. You all contributed quite a bit to today's program. Remember, if you miss a part of the show, go to our radio station website, TrueOldiesFLA.com. And at TrueOldiesFLA.com, the entire show is uploaded each day as a podcast and archived there forever. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's been here. I'm Brian Craig. See you tomorrow.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.